Hey, and welcome to the Board Game Chair podcast. This is a Games with Trev podcast. And for those who don't know who we are a board game YouTube channel where we do everything board games. I'm your host, Trev, and I'm here with my co-host, Monique.
Hey.
And today we are going over our first impressions of the game Ark Nova, made by Furland Games. Say that right?
I don't know.
Sure. We'll try our best. We're trying our best here. This is a 1 to 4 player game where basically you're trying to build a zoo. And you're basically just trying to maximize efficiency, I would say, to be able to win the game. Monique, why don't you start us off?
First impressions of the game. I saw it at the game store many months ago. And it immediately caught my eye because I like games about animals. And so I was like, oh my gosh, like this looks like a cool game. And then I saw the artwork and it was kind of a turn off because it's kind of like...
It looks like
photos.
Just like stock photos.
Yeah. And I was like, you know what? Let's not get this game. Let's get another game. Fast forward... Now it's number 4 on Board Game Geek.
Yep.
And back then, I don't even know where it was. It was not near the top. It wasn't anywhere.
It wasn't on the list.
It was like when it was brand new. And I wish we would have gotten it then because, like...
It would have been cool.
It would have been cool because we would have been like, oh my gosh, it's so good. But then once we heard about it, we were like, okay, let's go back and buy the game. So we bought it, even though I was a little disappointed still about the artwork. And initially, I was really intimidated by the game.
Facts.
Because there is just a lot of rules. We sat down to watch some rule videos, maybe like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, I think we watched a total of 4 different videos of how to play the game.
Of like different segments of each, too.
Yeah, because we watched, like, of the first 3 videos, we watched probably the first 15, 20 minutes of each of them. And, like, it basically just got done barely of, like, the 4th action card. And so it was just like, there is just a lot to take in for this game. There are so many components and there's just so many things going on, and just like learning how it works, it's really, really intimidating, like you said.
Yeah, and both of us were kind of like, not dreading it, I would say, but we've just had bad experiences with games that take us a long time to learn.
Yeah.
That we wanted it to be a good game, so we were like...
Well, it's number 4 on Board Game Geek. It has to be a good game.
I know, but I didn't want to hate it, like... I don't know.
Yeah, it's true though. It's true. It's sat on our table for probably 2.5 weeks now. Open and set up, ready to go.
Yes.
We didn't play it. It was just.
We've had it for almost a month though.
Yeah, that's true.
It was just scary.
It was scary, but I think like my initial thought and impression is as soon as you kind of get down those 5 action cards,
boom.
You got the game. It's not that hard, honestly. Like, I'll be honest.
No, it's not that difficult. But literally, I would say, like, literally until, like, the last half of the game, I didn't know what was going on. I was like, okay, this feels right. But, like, it was still enjoyable where I kind of knew, okay, this kind of feels like how this is supposed to work. So I'm guessing it's right. But...
It's honestly all around a really solid game. Like, to be honest. Like, I'll be...
True.
Like, I'm not disappointed. Like,
why?
I was with Everdell. I'm just saying I'm not disappointed.
But why?
It was just everything I expected it to be. It was hard. It was challenging. But, like, at the same time, it was pretty easy to pick up, like I said. I think this game, I don't think it's going to fall in the advanced category of board games.
What?
I think it falls in the intermediate. I don't think it's actually that hard. I think
for time's sake, I would put it into an advance.
Really?
Just because think if we're playing at 3 to 4 players, it took us probably an hour and a half to 2 hours. Granted, it was our first time.
The other thing you have to think about is like how many times did your turn start and you were still thinking about your turn?
Yeah.
Like, you have to realize that when you play with 3 to 4 players, like, yes, it does add on time, obviously, but it also gives you more time to think about what you're going to do.
Yeah. I still think I'd put it in the advance.
Interesting. It's just like, I feel like if you play with someone who knows the game, it wouldn't be that bad.
Oh, no. But, like, first time If someone, like, some rando decides to buy this game, maybe it's you listening to this podcast, you open up the rule book, this is advanced, I would say.
I guess that's fair.
If I bought this game alone by myself.
What's intermediate then? Name 3 games that are intermediate.
Root, I would say, is intermediate.
That's No. That's intermediate versus this game? Really?
Root's a lot simpler than this one.
Really?
Yeah. I would say Root is a lot easier to learn than this game.
Okay, continue. 2 more. There's a game I'm thinking of.
What? Say it.
That's intermediate?
Terraforming Mars, I would say.
No,
Probably.
These are equal, I feel like. These ones are more equal than Root. Terraforming Mars and Ark Nova
are like the same level.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would probably have someone play Terraforming Mars before Ark Nova. Just because there's less symbols to learn, you kind of know what's going on the board. Because like you got your player board, then you got the main scoring board, which has cards on it, and then you got this little mini board.
That's true.
And there's all these boards with all these symbols, and you don't know what's going on. Versus like Terraforming Mars, it's like there's one board.
And your player board.
And your player board, I guess, but like.
So there's 2 boards instead of 3 boards.
Still. Okay, what game are you thinking?
Wingspan.
No!
Definitely intermediate. That's not beginner.
I would say it's between beginner and intermediate.
Wow.
Anyway, we're getting off track. but
that's the point of the podcast. Anyway.
I think one of my favorite things about the game was... Oh, gosh. Well, I liked it all. I think it was just like how everything worked together in a way that it allowed you to score points to win, but it didn't necessarily mean like... Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I want to preface something real quick for the listeners and the viewers. We didn't know how the game was scored until we finished the game.
Now looking back, though,
I looked at the rule book to find out how the scoring, like when you finish the game, but I didn't read.
We were playing blindly.
I had no idea what I was.
I figured it had to do with the green.
Oh yeah, I figured it had to do with both the tracks, but
okay, I guess that's one thing that I really like. On the scoring, you score 2 different ways. And like there's a green track and a brown track.
There's 2 different point like systems.
Yeah, and when you cross those 2 different tracks when they come around is when you end the game. Mm-hmm. Which I thought was really clever. Like,
it is really clever. It is really smart.
Because you technically could be at the very end of the board on one side.
Yeah, you could be, and then pass yourself on the other.
Yeah.
And like the thing is for those that don't know how Ark Nova scores, is once you pass yourself, that's when you start earning points. And it's the farther away you get away from yourself, the more points you earn.
But as soon as you cross yourself, that triggers the end of the game.
Right.
So you have to plan it like...
You have to plan to pass yourself like pretty far to end the game.
And to win.
To win, yeah. So it's honestly pretty difficult. But it's so fun. Like, I think like let's go back a little bit. Like we just skipped to the end. But like the beginning of the game, it's all about basically getting enough money to build a building and play an animal. And like going into the game, like watching the rule videos and reading the rule book, like I remember thinking to myself, how are you supposed to keep track of which animals and which habitat? Like, is that gonna be a huge problem for me?
Oh yeah.
Like I honestly was like, why are we like putting little pieces of like what
little meeples or something? Yeah, I agree.
But
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Strangely enough, it doesn't matter. That I think is one of the biggest things.
It was the biggest shocker, yeah.
That I was like, oh my gosh, it doesn't matter if I have a monkey in this enclosure. All that matters is that I flipped it over and that the enclosure is full of animals.
It's P-less, guys. That's the vocab word we're learning these weeks. It's P-less. It really is. It's so smart.
It is smart.
It was so clever. Like playing the game, I was like, dang.
I also
they did a good job.
The third board. What was it called? The association board. Mm. You have all these little like people meeples, your workers.
People meeples. People meeples.
Stick that on a shirt.
Go.
Anyway, you get your workers and you take them and you place them on the board depending on how many you have. And it's such an advantage to have more of those workers.
Yeah.
But oh my goodness, it's so difficult to get. It took me probably 45 minutes into the game to get another worker out there I was able to play.
That is true. I think I only had 2 the whole game.
I got them all. I wanted them all.
Yeah, they're nice. And like, I just like that each action feels valuable.
That's true.
There wasn't an action, because like with the association board, when I first started doing it, I was like, I don't know how much I really want to do this. But it really pushes you ahead.
I did have that worry while we were watching the rule videos, like how each card was going to be weighed. Like, oh, I'm going to want to get my drawing cards card to the top every single time. But it just whichever one was at the top, I was like, oh, sick. Let's do that.
Yeah, honestly, though, it's like, oh, it's a 5? Sure.
Yeah,
but
I liked that.
Yeah, for those that don't know how the action works, because we're skipping around so much, I'm sure you're not loving it. But here we are. So basically, when you on your turn, you basically just pick an action of the 5 available actions in front of you, and you have like basically a chart, and it's like 1 through 5, and you have a card underneath each one. And when you do the action, you take that card and you push it all the way down to the 1. And basically, the 1 through 5 tells you how strong of the action you get to do.
Yeah, I loved that about it.
And it's so good. Like, it is such a good action economy.
But then there's like these little X's you can gain throughout the game if you like skip a turn
that
or like
boosts you.
Yeah, so you get to like add an extra power to a card if you're like at power 3 and you're hoping for a power 5 and you have 2 X's.
Then you get power 5, yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. It's actually really good. The other thing I really liked is how each animal has requirements to be played.
I did not.
There are some animals that can be played with no problem, but the other animals, they have to have like you have to already have a primate, or your building has to be next to water, or you have to have someone, or you have to have an association, which basically means your partner with like a certain type of animals. And like that, I think, is a really cool aspect because it makes the puzzle, or also like the planning of the game, really, really important.
But the turnaround of cards was also very...
Like how many cards you just got all the time, or what do you mean?
Like, at least in my couple like throughout the beginning of the game, you have to discard your hand every couple turns.
That's true.
So the turnaround of cards was like, oh, I have 8 cards in my hand. Oh, I've got to discard down to 3. So it was like... Yeah. Like you were saying, the planning aspect was like, okay, which cards do I think I can actually get and play within these next couple of turns? Because you didn't want to keep those super powerful cards with all these requirements, because then you'd be left with nothing to play.
That's true. That's true. Quickly, a word from our sponsors today. And today, Monique will be giving the word from our sponsors, so we'll pass it over to her.
We just want to let you guys know to make sure to check out our YouTube channel, our other videos, because we are having a giveaway at 1,000 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed yet, make sure you click that button because you don't want to miss it out. We're giving away, what's it called? I'm blanking. So You've Been Eaten.
So You've Been Eaten. How could you forget?
I could see the picture in my mind, but I couldn't remember. It is an awesome 2-player game. You're a little miner versus a monster creature, a beast,
yeah.
And you're trying to get crystals inside the beast is trying to eat you, and it's one of our favorites, I would say. That's why we're giving it away, and we want you guys to be a part of it. So don't forget to subscribe and just keep enjoying all the content.
Yeah, we're posting weekly and sometimes bi-weekly
if you're lucky.
if we drop the podcast that same week. We try to do the podcast every other weekish. We're trying our best. We had technical difficulties the last little bit, so we thank you guys for holding out. And I promise someone in the comments, and I'll promise everyone, if we forget to post a video again, we're doing the Simonin Challenge next.
Oh, no.
Because last time we did Polar Plunge, and that's what that video was, because we forgot.
So cold.
So, yeah, Simonin Challenge next if we don't do it. Okay, back to your regularly scheduled podcast.
So let's get juicy. Tell me what you didn't like.
Okay, so... The break I have a love-hate relationship with it.
I liked it.
If I break, I love it. If you break, I hated it.
Why? It was only an X.
I know, but it's just like because I didn't plan on like discarding my hand that turn.
I guess that's true.
Because like when you take a break, like when the break track gets to the end, which basically is kind of like the round end.
But it is just triggered by like whatever cards you play, because certain cards cause you to move on down the track.
Yeah, it's so strange. Anyway, but it's kind of cool. It's cool.
I like the idea of it.
But yeah, it was just like my discarding my hands was up to them, which I didn't love because like I'd have like 10 cards, I'd go down to 3.
That's what I'm telling you. The turnaround.
It's so quick.
So quick.
It's so quick. And like it is good, and I like that like that's how you get income and stuff like that. And that's kind of like how you do some maintenance around the board. Cuz the board gets kind of out of hand and you like kind of refill everything and fix everything, you know what I mean? Which is cool. But it was just kind of like I just was mad cuz I just didn't like that you did that to me.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Oh yeah, funny thing is, you want to tell them the funny thing? You want me to tell them the funny thing?
You tell them the funny thing.
Okay, the funny thing is we thought we're dumb, we're idiots. As you guys have learned, we make mistakes in games a lot, and we're sorry. But
we make them so you don't have to.
Yeah. When you get income, it's not based upon the ticket value.
The brown track.
It's based upon the black number outside of the black track.
Which
is
there's so many things on the board that your eyes kind of like don't even see it.
Yeah.
At least I didn't even see it until you pointed it out. I was like, oh, there's a number there.
Yeah, basically it's like way less. And Monique was getting like 70 coins a turn.
It was awesome. I could play any card I wanted.
It was insane.
And then he was like, hold up.
You can't do that.
You can't do that. So that was my biggest problem with the game, actually, was the income. I was like, this is way too easy. What the heck? Like,
but
yeah.
we fixed it.
Yeah. So
the game fixed itself. So you don't really have a problem.
I don't think I have a problem with it other than the artwork.
Really? Is it that bad?
It just bothers me.
It's not that bad.
It kind of bothers
me.
me.
The humans are the weirdest part.
Yeah, the sponsor cards, oh my gosh. They're like creepy. I don't like them.
But Terraforming Mars cards are bad too.
I think I prefer those.
What?
These.
Oh, they're way worse.
I think it's just because like I love animals so much. And I think they're awesome. And I don't like it when they look weird. I don't know. They don't look weird. It just looks like stock photos.
It just looks like stock photos.
It's like if you really like, I don't know, some celebrity or something, Danny DeVito, and you took a stock photo of him versus like
a crisp, clean,
stylized photo of him.
I guess that's true.
That's how I feel.
I'm so glad we can compare Danny DeVito to board games.
Just feel a little betrayed, that's all.
That's okay.
But I think that's really the only thing I didn't really like.
What was your absolute favorite part?
Absolute favorite part? I think just playing the animal cards, like and seeing like, because it shows like what part of the world they're in, and like if they're herbivores, and all these things can help you later in the game. So I really like that all these like random facts that are attached to the card can potentially help you later in the game. I thought that was really cool because from what I could see, like all of them were like consistently correct and like
consistent.
There's just a lot of thought put into it, and I appreciated that those facts went into like the playing factor of the game. True.
That is cool actually. And like I think for me probably my favorite part of the game was definitely the action selection.
Really?
It was just really cool. And also like the point trackers, like we've been kind of talking about how like they go around the board. I think it was just really clever, and it was awesome to see it.
I know what else I liked.
Oh, what?
All the power-ups like on your Zoo map. If you place it on that spot, you get that thing. Like that was, oh my gosh, I loved that. I felt like so cool. I was like, oh my gosh, I get to upgrade in a card. I liked that.
That is cool. It is cool. The other cool thing about this game, I feel like that makes it the replayability awesome, is the fact that there are multiple different zoo maps.
Oh, I didn't
with
know
different
that.
starting locations and stuff like that.
Dang.
Super cool. And there's like over 400 cards.
400 bajillion cards.
No, it's actually over 400 cards. I'm not even joking on that one. It's actually over 400 cards. Like, that's
the
not a joke.
stack is massive, like literally massive.
We played with less than half of them. So
Like I'd say like a fourth of them. Honestly.
no, we put it close to half. It really was close to half. Just because you
Maybe.
discard so many.
That's true. We didn't play with all of them. We discarded some.
That's true. So it's super cool. Sorry, what are you going to say?
Do you think it deserves number 4
Let me think.
on Board Game
Do I
Geek?
think it's... This is how I think about it. Is it better than Wingspan?
No, my heart. Don't say it.
It might be. I don't think I personally love it more than Wingspan, but I think it might be better than Wingspan. Is it better than Terraforming Mars? Yes.
Terraforming Mars is
better?
below.
Is it better than Root?
That's his favorite game.
I don't know. I'd have to play it more.
If you were on an island and you could only have...
I didn't pick this game.
What would you pick?
Well, how many games do I get?
1. For this episode, you
Root.
get 1.
Root.
Okay.
Duh. What would you pick? Wingspan.
I don't know.
Really?
I have recently just really liked Everdell a lot.
Oh my.
Okay, but if you got all the expansions...
I guess that's for
And you were
because you
stuck
have the
on the
spider
island?
one you play by yourself too.
Yep, that's what I'm saying.
I guess that's true. That's true.
I think it deserves number 4 just because of...
Oh, so you do
cleverness?
think it's better than Wingspan?
No, I don't.
You
I'm
just
not,
said it.
No.
She
I'm
just said
not-
it, folks. She
I'm
just
not
said
thinking of it like you were saying. I just mean on the scale of Board Game Geek.
it. Is it worth being up high?
I think it is worth being up high. I think it deserves that spot.
Do you think it deserves to be number 1?
No. I think there is a better game out there. Don't know what it is. Don't know what the one is right there. What is it right now?
Brass.
Never played it. Let me know if that one's better than Arc Nova.
Yeah, actually, let me know about Brass. If you're listening to this, I actually want to know. That's all.
No, that'd be cool. But I definitely think it belongs in probably the top 10. I think it will move down eventually, but I think it deserves at least one of the top 10.
Yeah, I believe so too.
Of all the
actually.
games I've played, definitely up there.
It's pretty good. I honestly recommend this to anyone who...
Anyone.
not anyone.
No, I was just joking.
Oh, you're making fun of me. No, I think I just recommend this to anyone who just kind of likes board games and kind of want to step it up a little bit.
Yeah.
It is expensive. It's $75.
I'm telling you, if we would have bought it months and months ago, it was like half the price.
I know. It's just because it's awesome now.
I could have been so P-less, bro.
I know. It would have been so awesome. But it's all good. It's all good. But we thank you guys for listening today on the Board Game Chair podcast. Yeah, if you guys have any questions about Arc Nova, I know we're a little scatterbrained when we speak sometimes, but if you have any questions, leave it down below and we will get back to you. I respond to every comment. Yep, every comment. Just double checking my mind. I have done it. And we love to hear from you guys. You guys are awesome. Anyway, thank you guys so much and have a great day.